Joining me now is Senate Chairman for the National Iranian Congress and author of Comrade Ayatollah, Amir Fakhrآور, along with former Netanyahu advisor, Jewish News Syndicate, and co-host of Israel Undiplomatic podcast on JNS TV, Ruthie Blume. I'm going to go with you first, Amir. Just kind of describe where Israel was 2 years ago versus where it is today.
Let me thank you for having me first, and let me just start it with this statement that the thing called the axis of Islamic resistance, which has existed since the establishment of Stalin's Soviet Union, no longer exists 2 years after October 7. Thanks to President Trump and Prime Minister Beniammin Netanyahu, this have been taken care of. The only one left standing is Iran's supreme leader, which Beniammin Netanyahu and President Trump, they promised to take care of the last part, and it will happen. We know it will happen soon. Prime Minister Netanyahu told us and told the world that he will punish whoever have been in any capacity involved in October 7. Look what happened to Hezbollah. Hezbollah have been totally dismantled. They have been the ruling power for half a century in Lebanon, in Syria, and in the entire Middle East. Even they came to Venezuela, they came to Mexico, and they had a lot of influence in South America. Hezbollah doesn't exist anymore. They lost their leaders, the big leaders. And then Hamas have been destroyed. Hamas's leader, Ismail Haniyeh, have been killed in Tehran, in former King's Palace, Sadabad. And also, look at Houthis. They are destroyed too. Look at the 12 Days War. When Benjamin Netanyahu and the IDF, let's say thank you to amazing IDF, which they destroyed the IRGC with killing tens of their commanders. And, you know, the axis of Islamic resistance is gone. For 100 years, nobody could take care of that. The Soviet Union started that mess, and right now, finally, it's taken care of. This is the good part about October 7, 2 years later.
Ruthie, I just want everyone to see it. We're having a split screen. That is Hostage Square in Israel. Those are live. That's a live look of what's happening right now. As you can see, there's a clock, which shows how long these hostages have been held in captivity. Ruthie, there's negotiations happening in Egypt right now. The Trump administration seems hopeful that these hostages will be returned within the next few days. How hopeful are Israelis, and are you, quite frankly, that we'll see a resolution to this conflict in, the next week or so?
Well, the Israelis are hopeful, but very, very nervous, because we've been here before where there was people thought that the hostages were coming home and then they didn't. And so people are being careful not to be too hopeful. However, because of what Amir said, this is the real optimistic point. Because the Islamic resistance has been pretty much destroyed, we have reason to believe that Hamas has no more leverage except the hostages. And though it is right now in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, trying very hard to leverage the hostages yet again by saying, no, we have more demands, I tend to believe that President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Arab and Muslim states that have signed on to Trump's agreement probably won't accept that from Hamas. Or I hope it's not wishful thinking.
Yeah, no, I think that we all are in the same place, wondering when these hostages will be released, if Hamas will release the hostages, because, Ruthie, to your point, that's the only leverage point that they have right now. Amir, what is your take about the resolution of this? We know that the Iranian state is weakened. All of Iran's proxies have been weakened. You spelt that out beautifully. But how optimistic are you that we'll see these hostages home within the next week, and that we can be working on a resolution to this conflict imminently?
I'm 100% sure the hostages can come home, because Hamas is gone. Hamas doesn't have anything else. They either will be killed or will be killed, because they have done something very bad in October 7. And Hamas is gone, but we should know one very important thing, as Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday, I guess he mentioned, Iranian regime right now is testing some intercontinental ballistic missiles. They want to directly attack Israel, attack the European capitals, and even attack New York, Mar-a-Lago, Washington, D.C. They are working on that, and China is helping them. China is helping IRGC for that matter. I'm sure Beniamine Netanyahu, Prime Minister, knows that well. President Trump, they know that well, and they know if they don't go and kill Iranian supreme leader and destroy entire IRGC and entire their missile systems, then that regime with the oil money, with petrodollar, can create all terroristic group again, and it will be again and again the circle of blood all over Middle East and the world.
Well,
that's the job they
we
should
certainly,
do. And
Amir, I'm sorry, I don't mean
Netanyahu and Trump.
Amir, I don't mean to cut you off. We hope that doesn't happen. We hope a resolution is made soon that all parties can like and can bring peace to the Middle East. But Ruthie Blume, Amir Fkhravar, thank you both for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.